Hey guys, I did my book report on Taken Out of Context by Dana Boyd, where it kind of talks about American teen sociality and network public. So just kind of give a definition of kind of what network public is. Kind of reference the links that of social, cultural, and technological developments that have accompanied the growing engagement with digitally networked media. So there's a very fluid definition of public, and Jada's definition of public kind of incorporates all of the definitions of public, so it's adding a little bit of her own. So Jada's definition of public is both a space where people may gather, interact, be viewed, and also an imagined community of people who share similar practices, identities, and cultural understanding. Um, there's also an understanding that which is public potentially but not necessarily visible, and that boundaries of public generally are imagined but not understood. So Dana Boyd makes a lot of good points in her book about how teenagers are acting just the way that they always have. It's just that now it's on a public venue that everyone can view, on a public platform. And so she interviewed, various racial backgrounds. The average age she interviewed was 15.9 years old. And she found that people, that these teens were representing themselves like they would in their bedrooms. So they post um, they design a profile to their personality and things like that, post how they act. That teens also provide inaccurate information online because they find it hilarious, but also that obscurity is really equal to safety. That's how they are maintaining their online identity. There's also a lot of different views of different viewpoints that conflict from parents and teens. So parents view that online identity should be um, uh, signifying embodying their identity, like their actual identity, while teens are kind of the opposite. They feel like their online identity doesn't necessarily need to embody their own identity. Um, and they also view that age as kind of privilege. It's a sign of status. So when Facebook, just started doing their, when they just started out, you had to have a college email. So many who first started using Facebook really saw it as a sign of status, and teens saw that as a sign of status, especially in our society, age is kind of um, a privilege, and you get many, many privileges. So she makes a lot of good points when regarding Facebook versus MySpace, and um, that this MySpace, a friend of Top 8 has created drama within teens and their friend circles, but in many ways it's just, an unusual teenager environment. So this idea of out of context is where adults misinterpret what teens are posting on the internet. So adults misinterpret um, these posts, and they result in punishment for these teens. But the reason for this is because they don't understand the context of which these teens are posting online and what they're posting about and what that means. And so teens want to cooperate more with adults, but they also want their own personal space from adults. Um, and so, like we all do. But I think teens also just want to have that cool adult that is able to connect with them on a different level than other adults can't. Teens just want to be able to have the capacity to be free while still being teenagers. Um, So the takeaway of this book, I found that teen social practices haven't changed as a result of technology. They just merely adapted to it. Instead of gathering, have just changed. And so teens are learning to negotiate these peer relations, social status, typical teenage practices, but they're merely learning how to do this in social network settings. So it's just much more visible than before, and more people are understanding just these teenage practices. Um, so that's all. Thanks.